All right. So let's continue from last week. We are going to we're going to complete the painting of the carpet, but we're also going to make it look like, or make another one look like it is flying. So I will change the camera to show you where we've all reached. We've all come to the same point, yeah? We painted the carpet design. A few designs are in place, and now we're going to add more design to it. But whenever you are trying to show some kind of design on a piece of cloth that is not straight and flat, so that you're going to show some design on that, it's a good idea to build the design flat and then you apply it onto another surface. So I'm going to show you that application. And we are going to keep painting this and that and this and that together. All right. Before we do this, just give me 1 second because let me just share some. All right. Now we are going to look at a carpet as if it is flying. So when a carpet is flying, imagine if this is a carpet. How will it look? It won't be flat. There will be a few folds on it, right? And then you will have one side turning up somewhere, one side turning down maybe. And then we have to show our entire design onto this. It has to move along with the folds. So we're going to do it quite easily. I'll show you how. So first I want you to again draw this on a rough page. Do we have a rough page? Like we've drawn this over here, you can draw it in the back. Draw it in the back of the same page, but draw it very light so that you don't see it on the other side. So first I want you to see what I'm doing and then you draw it. Okay? So the front of the carpet I'm going to show is going to be folding upward like this. Watch me. Do not draw. Please observe. Don't draw. So the front of the carpet is folding upwards, and then you have a bump and another bump maybe, and then the back of the carpet also folds up. Now I'm just drawing one side. Ruhan, please, would you watch this? Because it gets a little complicated and then I might not be able to show you again. Okay, just watch this. So I've drawn this curvy line, which is the edge on this side, the one that we see, this side. And then we are going to project some lines outward. They're all going to be parallel lines outward. So from every point, like this is the edge, but where will the other side go? So where the line turns, that point becomes the edge and it rolls. All right, don't draw. I want you to see this. I'm going to show you one more time, but I want you to see, observe this. Okay, Kyra, you're also watching. Don't draw with me. Just watch this. And then you have the back also. Now look at what is happening to the other side. If this were a transparent cloth, you would see the other side also has the same folds. So it's the same shape. Sorry? It's the same shape on the other side, which is connecting, and then we have these connecting lines, and this edge is then visible. This is what will look like the carpet is flying off the air. Do you see it? So what are the things that can go wrong over here is when you draw this line, you might make this too big. We don't want that. You might make this too straight. We don't want that. You might make this shape curled over here and this shape curled over here. Then all of this will go wrong. So there are lots of things that can go wrong. Okay, so let's try a scroll, a simple thing. Now this time you should draw with me. Kyra, hold the book when you're drawing, please. Hold the book, don't hold the head. And if you are sitting too low, please get a cushion and sit taller. All right, let's try this one thing. We're going to draw a piece of paper, like if this were our carpet. This is our carpet and we want it to fold. So I'm going to roll a little from this side. And I'm rolling a little from this side. See how this roll is looking? That's how we're going to draw it. And then there's also a little bump in the middle. So we're going to draw this line first. And if you want to, very lightly, you can draw the line in the back and then join all the points together. Okay, did you get it?
So it's basically gonna be like a photo where someone's supposed to be holding the carpet, except there's not a person.
Somebody's going to be holding the carpet.
Uh, in those Aladdin and all, for example.
Right. Correct, correct. Wait. How did you mute yourself?
Like in Aladdin, when they're on the carpet, they hold the edge like over
Yeah,
there,
correct.
like that. So it'll just basically be like that, except without the humans.
Correct, exactly. And in Aladdin, very often you also see the carpet goes around and flies by itself, na, and does its own thing. All right, so let's try with one fold, not two. Okay, ready? So now we make a curl like a C shape, a bump, and another C shape. But it's an inverted C shape. Is everyone doing this? Abir and Safi,
Miss,
could you
one
turn
question.
your videos on, please? Yes.
Miss, I have one question.
Yes.
Should we make the size small or big?
This is in rough. So look at how big I've made it, just as much as my finger right now. I want you to just draw this first. And if there are any mistakes that happen, I want them to happen in the rough area so that when we make it in fair, you know exactly what to watch out for. Now, just a little to the top left, not too far away because our carpet will become too fat otherwise. So just a little to the left, but a little above, draw the same shape again, more or less the same shape. It's okay if the shape changes a little bit. Now in this, I will join all the corresponding points. Can you figure out which points should join to each other? I'll show you the original one. We've drawn this line, we've drawn this line, and these are the crucial points. You have to just look at the points where you're going to draw straight lines. The same distance on the curve, on both curves, there should be a straight line joining them. Then you have a line here, and the same distance up on this curve, you map it on this side. And this line that you draw should not turn around and join. And after you get this shape, you can put tassels. A tassel is nothing but a circle and a rounded triangle shape. So you put tassels. and make those tassels fly. They don't have to be pointing in only one direction.
Miss, can you show it again? I didn't quite understand.
What part do you want me to show again?
The how to like make it look like it's
Yeah. So look at this. We have to draw two edges of the carpet. We have to draw the front and we have to draw the back, or we have to draw the right side and left side and just join those edges. Now look at what happens when I fold this. Suppose, let me take a slightly better shape. See what happens when I fold this up. Do you see after this line, do you see any part of the paper inside it? And what's happening on this side? We don't see it, right? Because the paper is opaque. It's not transparent. So here, when we see the fold, you'll see this line connecting, and you'll see where the turn comes on the paper, and the turn comes over here and it's turning in the other direction. That is where you draw another straight line. Did you get it? Is that the confusing bit?
yeah, but that
So
yeah, because this is like perfect.
let me see how it's come out, and I can just share. All right, that's good. Let me see the other side. Why don't you hold it in front of your face? Then I can see it better. Hold that in front of your face. Now bring it a little closer, a little closer, a little to your right. Yeah, it's right. So you know what has happened? It's only on the top right that you've not curled it up.
Yeah, but like
So this is what you've done this, okay? You've done this part fine. Okay, I'm sorry. You've done this much, correct? Now all you need to do is extend this. Just imagine the same curve on the other side. Imagine the curve first, and then join these ends. And then you will draw this side. So you won't see this and you won't see this line. All right. Okay, now we have to draw the same thing. Any way you have managed it, we have to draw it on our, 1 second. Huh? All right, sorry about that. So now here we are going to draw that carpet in this shape or in this shape, wherever you want to, whatever shape you want to make it. So this is how I'm drawing it. Not too big. First, I'll draw the shape on my side. Then I'll draw the shape. Remember to draw the shapes very lightly because we are drawing some overlaps. Listen, Safreen, are you erasing too much? Don't erase too much. So listen. Abir, wait.
No, the line was just a bit too dark.
Oh, don't erase it, but see, if it is dark, let it be. If it is wrong, first make the line that has to be correct. And then after making that adjustment, then erase the line. So then you have to just do something like this. You just take a little bit of your eraser and just do so much, or just adjust it. Okay, now let us join the two ends on both sides. These two ends are joined. These two ends are joined. We'll make the middle part dark. And then we will make a line on the roll part. And after that is done, I will erase the part that is being hidden, which is here, this curve. Now has everyone been able to draw this?
No, I'm just looking for an eraser.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to erase my one line. See, this has become too crooked. I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to adjust my line to where I want it. And then I'm going to erase the line that I don't want on the paper. So at any point when you want to correct a line, first draw the line, the corrected line first, and then remove the line that is not correct. Abhi, do you have a question?
I can't draw.
It's okay, then don't draw, Abir. I know this is a little complicated for you. What can you draw then? Actually, why don't you show me what you have drawn? Because you might, just apart from this, you might be able to draw just a curve. That'll also work. So maybe you can draw a carpet that looks like this. See? Even that is fine. And that'll also look like it's flying, because you can draw some toggles like these, and it'll look like it's a flying carpet. So make all these lines like not straight, but S's. Not very very curvy S's, very gentle S's. Okay, Abir, do you want to try it like that?
Yeah.
Now, once you're done with this, we have to map our carpet design somewhat onto this. So you need to see how our design is. First, we made that rectangle. So we just make a rectangle-like shape. So that means draw a line on the inside of the carpet. So they're just going parallel, 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 and it gets hidden. How will it go parallel here? It's coming from here, and then it'll come here. Yes, that is how it'll go. So here also the line will come parallel, parallel, parallel. Go very close to this edge on the curl, and then you'll also see the design sometimes from the back, a little lighter usually. And then of course you make it straight. So very often you'll see that the designs on carpets or illustrations of the designs on carpets are very simplified. So here, it will go here.
Okay. Yeah.
Abir, in your case, you will draw a rectangle inside, just like that. All the lines are parallel to the outside line.
Miss, is it okay if I make it a bit more small? Two more, one more because I made mine a bit small and I still have a lot of room.
Yeah, you can make any size you want. Now on
So
this,
can I make another one?
yes, of course. After we have done that, we can make the design in the center first. That's this blue design. So first, what I would do is mark a line going in the center like this, which is also going to be parallel, and then draw another mark crossing it, which would be at the same angle as these side lines. So these are parallel. And then remember how we had done this? We had first made our V shapes at the top and bottom, a very complicated shape on the sides, and then we had joined them with curves. So everything is going to look a little weird because everything is bent. All right, now you remember how the rest of the designs were. This thing on this side, it might be a little complicated, but you can look at the design and say, okay, how does this curve? This curves inside. So you just curve one inside like that. And then from the outside, from the top, from the other side, you can make the design also. You can sometimes see the design from both sides. And that's it. After this, you can just color up the same way that we have colored on the flat surface. And then we start filling up with more detailed designs with just dots, and it'll look very impressive. So whenever you have a very complicated design, just do it slowly. Yes, Abir?
What do I do now?
You do the same thing. You do the same thing over here. Remember how we've drawn this design here?
I did it.
You have done it, right?
Yeah.
Great. Then you can also make the rest of the design like how, remember how we did those S shapes? Oh, sorry. All of this. So you just make it a little less complicated. And you can color it up exactly like how we colored this. That's what I'm going to do over here. And then we are just going to fill in the details. Has everyone finished the drawing? Oh, then we have these little flowers, right? So see, point them again in the direction that we see the carpet pointing. And in some places, now look over here, I don't have place for this. So I'm making a smaller flower. Then we have these triangle designs on the corners. If you cannot make the big design, make a small design. And then we will paint this like we did the earlier one. So first, remember what we done? First, we had painted only the light color, which is this lovely golden shade. And I'm going to paint that on the inside as well as the outside of the carpet.
We're done, Mom.
Done? Very good. Now I will also paint wherever I can see on the back. I'll paint there also. So again, over here, there can be a lot of confusion. So paint slowly. Before you touch paint to paper, think about, are you painting in the right place? When you have curls and curves and folds that you have to draw, everything can become very confusing. Now we have some shapes like these on the sides. I'm just making them simpler shapes, like little crescent moon shapes. I'm not making complicated leaves. I'm painting blue outside. Now here, look at what's gonna happen. If I'm not careful, I will paint my blue into this yellow because my yellow is not dried yet. So I am not painting my blue there. I'll wait and I'll paint my blue on this side. This is what I mean by stopping, checking, ensuring that you are painting in the right place at the right time and will not cause any colors to mix if you don't want them to mix. So other than flying carpets, where do you think you can draw a picture of something like this, where you have a design on a piece of fabric and that fabric is moving?
Maybe someone like dusting off a blanket.
Oh, yes, that's a very good example.
Yeah.
I would think even us now, if say a person is walking or running and they're wearing clothes which have prints, even that we will need to know how to map the pattern or the print onto that person's garment. So in animation, when people make animations, this is called something. I think it's called putting a skin or something. So you can make the design. When you do this on a computer, it's a lot easier. You can just design this thing and then you can put it on your carpet or your car or absolutely any surface. So the first part of that is learning to create the design. And then once the design is ready, just apply it everywhere. So what do you guys think about using computers for art? Like
I
not
find
just
it quite cool.
computers, laptops, yeah, your iPads or something like that. Have you worked with art on iPad? Have you used like Canva or things like this?
I find it quite cool because, like, first of all, you don't really need like an eraser or anything. It's mostly just a stylus,
Right.
and it's. I feel like first you should learn how to draw on paper, and then you should use a tab because, like,
Uh-huh.
it'll be easier for you on a tab then.
That's very interesting. Yes, Abir, you had a.
I know how to draw a square in a computer.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Do you enjoy drawing on the computer?
Yeah.
That's good. I agree with what Ruhan says. I want to know what everyone else thinks also. Kyra,
Digital
what do you think?
and with digital art, it's like very interesting because some things that you can't do on paper, you can do on in digital art.
True, very true. I I feel that
Like making a perfect circle.
you like making a perfect circle, you said?
Yeah,
Oh,
on computer you can do that. Like on tab you can do that. Like make different shapes and stuff.
that's true. So I love sometimes how much, like you said, na Ruhan, the different kinds of things you can do with computer arts, the effects, the lights, the textures. So sometimes it helps you to really stretch your imagination. And I love making art by hand also. So often when people ask about, hey, do you like computer art or do you like making art by hand? It always seems as if they're saying you should choose one over the other. But I've often felt, why should I choose one over the other? I like both. And sometimes I like to do something by hand because I like how that looks. And then sometimes I like doing something on the computer because that looks good there. So I want to not make the two enemies. Like if you draw by hand, then you can't draw on the computer and vice versa, because then I think that we just lose out. Like just because you drive a car doesn't mean that you're not going to fly if you have to cross an ocean, right? Or you have to go fast. You can't drive a car to Australia yet.
What do you mean by yet?
Well, you don't know, like chitty chitty bang bang, if somebody develops a car that can float, then you could take your car. You could float your car to Australia.
That's true.
Okay,
But
my
like
first
it would take a while. I would
choice.
recommend taking the flying mode.
It would, no? It would make more sense. Correct. So that doesn't make the car worse than the airplane, right? So I find that when asked to debate about one or the other, I'll just say, look, you know what? I like both. I don't want them to fight because of me. I don't want to fight because of them, because we're all friends. All right. Now, this is what I normally do. Have I shown you a picture of the carpets that I had made earlier? The rolled up carpets. They're not flying carpets. So while the paint is drying, I want to show you a picture of these carpets that I had made in a picture, in a sketchbook. Look at these. So here, this is a picture of a carpet shop. And the carpets are all hanging from a corner, just one corner, and hanging down. So see how the design has all been rolled.
Carpet shop.
Yes. And then there are some rolls of carpets here. So that's exactly what we're going to do over here. We don't have to draw the whole design. Look at how I have drawn the design with just a few lines. So in every place that we make something over here, we can make something over there as well. Now, technically, our carpet is done. I don't really need to do anything more to this carpet. It already looks quite like it's flying, right? But suppose I want to make it even more, the design more complicated. You don't have to do this. I just want to show you what I would do. It's not too difficult. So I'm just going to add a few more shapes in a few more places. Like, for example, I'll give a nice dark red color to the edge of the carpet so that it stands out and it looks finished. I can make this in paint. If you feel your hand is steady enough, give it a try. Make it in paint. If you are not so sure, then make it in color pencil or in a sketch pen. Instantly, the carpet starts looking more finished because of this border. Abir, how is your carpet looking? Is it looking like it's flying? Okay, nice. Now look at this part. I'm not going to make the edge, my red edge go to this side because that is not where the edge of the carpet is.
What are you using for like the edge? Which
I'm
color?
using the same color, scarlet. And I'll make these same patterns or a few lines inside the design, but like this over here. So first I'll make maybe a line and another trumpet design that comes here. This is how we start filling the pattern up. So we have two designs. We have trumpets and we have leaves. Oh, wow.
Tired.
Tired? We're almost done. 15 minutes. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the flying carpet. So another line.
Laptop battery is low.
Your laptop battery is low. Do you want to turn the charger on?
But my room, the charger is on my mom's room.
Doesn't matter, Abir. It might last for 10 minutes. We just have 10 minutes of class. More than the laptop battery, I think your battery is very low. Is it? Are you
Yes.
feeling that? Because even my battery is low because it's end of the day. We're all tired. All right, now here I will add a little bit of blue. So the line design that you add can be just in a very soft, like not a very harsh line, because carpets are woven. Do you know what woven is? A woven carpet is when you take these threads of the carpet, long threads, and you put them on a rack. And then you take little threads and then you tie knots. Actually, this won't be woven. This is a knotted carpet. So they have sometimes close to 100 knots in such a tiny space, just like 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. And depending upon how tightly wound the knots are, the carpet can be very expensive. Right, so I have these leaves over here. Oh, my design is not even visible. Anyway, then I can draw similar designs, just some big V's, little V's, big V's, little V's. And whatever you draw on the sample, you can draw on the flying. And it starts becoming more and more detailed. The last bit you can do is put these toggles, and this is what I will do. I'll show you my toggles. Just observe this for once. Just one thing. For this toggle, instead of making that V shape, I am going to make this shape. So the threads of the toggle should look like they're flying, isn't it? The one over here is now going to unfortunately be overlapped in red. So it's my carpet. So I'm going to make that in blue. Just 4 or 5 lines like that, not too many. So the toggles on one side are blue and the other side can be red, or they can be all blue also. I really like red toggles. Now this is looking sufficiently three-dimensional and it's flying. So I don't really need to do anything more. Whenever I'll give you a couple of minutes to do this, and then I'll show you how to add a shadow to this. So it really looks like it is flying. Many carpet weavers, when they're making the design, actually memorize the design. So they're constantly muttering something when they are making the design because they are repeating the design in their heads. Now, whenever you want to show something floating, it helps to create that illusion if there's a shadow underneath. So in the case of our carpet, if you want it to look like it's floating, this is how you can make a shadow. Use your color pencil and just make a shape like this. The same, but not with the fold. The shape is going to be like a rounded rectangle. And depending upon how high your shadow is, that is how much it'll look like it's floating. Now, because Abir's carpet is right underneath my carpet, I don't want to put a shadow on his carpet. So I've kept my shadow pretty close. So I'm just going to make one even rectangular shadow with rounded edges. But look, that rectangle is always going to be a little parallel to the carpet. And of course, this is not going to be a straight line. I am going to curve it just a little bit. And right underneath or the closest to the carpet, I'll make it a little darker. So closest to the carpet line, especially in the center. And as it comes out, I'll make it a little lighter. See, so closest and to the center, this line will be dark. But other than that, everything will be about the same light color and very diffused. So you don't have a very sharp line for the shadow. Otherwise, it'll look like the carpet is very close. See, when I keep my hand very close to the paper, can you see how sharp the line is? But the moment I start moving it away, can you see how the edge of the shadow becomes very diffused? See, can you see? If it's very close to the ground, the shadow is very sharp. Far from the ground, the shadow is very diffused. The edges are very fuzzy. So if you want it to look like it's far, not too close to the ground, then you can make the edges fuzzy. So one very simple trick I can show you to show floating. So it's a bit about this one. Suppose I want to show a floating ball. So let's say I draw a ball. We'll draw two, okay? So here's one. Just make a little highlight and paint the rest. This is one ball. I don't know why I can't, my colors are very light. And here's the second ball. This could be a ball, it could be a cherry, it could be anything, a button. Now, if I want to show that this ball is floating, I can make a roundish shadow, sorry, an oval shadow very far from the ball, and it looks like it's floating. Can you see this? This looks like it's floating pretty high up in the air. But now I want to show a shadow right underneath my the ball, so that I want to say that it's resting on a surface. I will make it very close and I'll also make the edges a little sharp. Can you see how the placement and the sharp or fuzzy edges will make a ball or an object look like it's floating or it's not? So there we are. I'm still thinking.
Yes, Miss. One
Yes,
question.
yes,
Is it
yes.
okay if I use this blender so my carpet looks like it's flying a bit more? It
Yes,
would be
why not?
easier.
Does the blender work with color pencils as well, or are you using a pencil for shading?
This works for pencils.
All right, so are you using a pencil for shading or color pencil?
Yes. Yes, I think it look more nice.
All right.
Flexible.
Okay, so definitely use a blender and see how that works.
Or you can use a tissue if you don't have one.
No, I have one too, except that I don't think it works on color pencil. But I've never tried, honestly, so I don't want to claim one way or another. Let's see.
I do the call.
I guess it does work. That's a great idea. Thanks, Afri.
No problem. So it looks a bit more smooth.
It does look a bit more smooth, you're right. So Blender is this. It's called a paper stump, not storm, but stump. And it's just a whole lot of paper that's rolled up together, and then they sharpen it, and you use this edge. So you don't point it down like a pencil, you keep it sideways and you just rub against that rolled edge so that that edge will then spread out all the pencil marks and give us good shading. See, that's how it works. All right, so any ideas for what we want to do next week? Any particular kind of fabric you'd like to learn about, since next week will be one more class on drawing fabrics?
Maybe after that class, we can do how a bunny.
A bunny? No, I'm trying to look at different kinds of fabric patterns. So clothes we wear, some kind of pattern that.
Oh, fabric pattern.
Yes, Abir.
Um,
Kind of soldier dress pattern.
Camo? You mean like the camouflage?
Yes.
Why not? I think that's a great idea. I have never done that before, but that's a great idea. Let's try making a camouflage pattern. Yes? Sorry, Kyra, I can't hear you.
Desert.
A desert? So clothing that you wear in a desert, is that what you're trying to say? Okay. So what is today's date? 19th. Let's see, we can do camo next week. And the week after that, we could, oh, we have just 1 week. So then we can do something desert themed on the week after that. That would then
It's
in that
2
we can
minutes
show.
more than time.
Oh, sorry, what?
It's 2 minutes more than time.
Yes, we are done now. So you can leave. I'm just going to look at everyone else's art and we are going to end the session. So if you're tired, Abir, please leave.
Me
us.
too, because I had space.
Let's see. Kyra, higher, please. Okay, very nice. Let's see Ruhan's. Okay, very good. Once you finish up with the lines, I think it'll look very nice. Very good, good attempt. And let's see. Oh, lovely. These are very cute. And I like that very modern design on one carpet also. Great job. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'll see you next week. Don't forget. Bye.
Bye.